prior to the assassination attempt?
We did not have any information about the shooter. He was not in our holdings before the shooting.
No communication in any chat rooms, no CIs or confidential human sources have any interaction with?
No, we've run a thorough search for the subject through all of our holdings, and he was not in them anywhere.
Were there any FBI agents or informants present at the Trump rally in Butler?
Not to my knowledge.
And Mr. Jordan was talking to you about Iran. Were law enforcement resources diverted from the protection of President Trump to John Bolton as a consequence of concern that Mr. Bolton might have been the target of Iranian malign efforts?
That's really a Secret Service decision. I don't know the answer to that. That's really something they would know better. What I can tell you is that there are a number of individuals. You mentioned one who we've brought a case, a specific criminal case for the Iranians targeting for assassination. But how
are you going to get that answer to us, whether or not resources were diverted from Trump to Bolton? Is that just going to be part of your review?
I think that's going to be part of the reviews by the Inspector
General for DHS, right?
Yeah, Mr. Gates, that was gangster, how you just finagled that confirmation out of him. And this guy, I said this earlier in the stream, if you guys aren't here, but Director Way for the FBI, he has done a much better job of, sometimes these Congress people are giving them easy answers of like, hey, we can't actually give you this because it's an ongoing case, and let me explain to you why it's important that we can't indulge this information, but let me give you some information that we do have. Let me underline that it's just, temporary. He's actually done a very good job.
How often do you brief President Biden?
You mean on this specific case?
No, in your role as FBI director.
I mean, I don't know that I could give you a number.
Is it like weekly, monthly, daily?
It's not at a regular cadence. There have been times when there have been months at a time when I haven't, and then there have been times when several days apart I have. Okay. It's always with other people.
The Vice President, is she typically there?
Often has been.
Okay, so when did you notice his decline?
In my interactions, in my role, all my interactions with the
He's trying to get him to trip up over Joe Biden turning into Sleepy Joe.
Decline. I'm not saying he treated you unprofessionally, just maybe not picking things up. We've had it observed so often that the ranking member and Mr. Schiff on this committee have said that he could no longer continue as a candidate. And so, since you're the FBI director, I was just sort of wondering, like, who's running the country? If something bad happened, you'd have to go brief President Biden about it right now, God forbid.
And on any number of occasions, I have briefed the president, and as I said, those briefings have all been uneventful and unremarkable.
Yeah, but that's not what he's getting at. He's saying right now the president dropped out of being, running for candidacy to be reelected because he is not well enough, not healthy enough to see it through, right? So God forbid something happens and America is attacked. Who is the person in charge right now? If you're saying Joe Biden, is it really? And I think that's what Representative Gates is trying to figure out.
I can imagine them being uneventful. But in the work where the vice president's also present, like you say, there's like more than half the time there's these briefings, she's there too?
I don't know if I'd said more than half the time. Certainly there have been times where she's been present. There have been other times where she hasn't.
I think he said that she's been there often.
I take your word when you say this is the most complicated threat environment you've ever observed over a long career in law enforcement. And I'm just kind of wondering, with this assassination attempt, with the invasion at our border, with all the Hamas that have been let in that you've talked about and briefed about.
And unfortunately, we'll pull it up after this, but today at Capitol Hill, we had people who are pro-Hamas, who are, ripping down the American flag, quite literally burning it, just vandalizing the Liberty Bell. I mean, it's disheartening is really what it is. And when I see something like that, I get a visceral reaction. I'm like, every person who's in that area needs to be thrown into prison or just deported from the country, right? And my mind goes even further for the guys who are, we have videos of people actually vandalizing, these treasures and burning the flag. Those people need to be for sure locked up.
Is Biden up to it?
Like, America is a great place, so only the greatest of people should really be in here, and there should be not hard, but if you're an American, you should get the benefits of being an American. Just because you step foot here does not mean you're an American. You should not get those benefits.
And if he's not up to it, and you're a guy who's been regularly briefing him, like who's been in on this conspiracy to hide the real Joe Biden from all of us for years? It never occurred to you that this guy wasn't up to it in all these briefings you did?
As I said, my briefings with the president have all been completely fine.
Were they
I
between 10
briefed,
a.m. and
he's
4
asked
p.m.?
questions. There hasn't been
That's when
anything
his
of note.
medications are the strongest.
Yeah, did you ever have to brief him before 10 a.m. or after?
I can't, I've certainly times that I have briefed included outside those hours.
Right. I just, I think the American people want to know how we got to this point with someone who's so diminished his own party has basically put him out to pasture. And since you had close proximity and the vice president had close proximity, I'm just kind of wondering if you were being straight with all of us about how things were going with him. I guess we'll have to figure that out.
You can count on me to be straight with you, sir.
We'll see.
I mean, at the end of the day, I do think he did a great job with the questions. There's some stuff, once more, you cannot answer, and I think he did a very good job of kind of breaking that down. But this is what I was talking about. This is what's happening at Capitol Hill today, and it's, let's see, yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about. You got this guy over here, breakpointing Hamas. I don't know what this says underneath. I mean, this is just, it's terrifying stuff. Okay, the final solution. Allah is gathering all Zionists for the final solution. My gosh, see, like, this is no longer freedom of speech, right? This is like inciting violence. And I heard it in a video once where I was just like, man, I really agree with that. But even with freedom of speech, when it goes and incites violence and like actual violence against another group, this is no good. You'll never see pro-Israel protesters acting like this. Why is that? I mean, this is in America, man. Like, this is not okay. Like, none of you people are from there. Like, there's so many just fucking people who haven't had enough hardship in their life. It doesn't feel like, or don't have any real calling, any real purpose, and they're out here trying to feel like they're a part of something, and don't have no fucking clue what they're actually supporting. It's actually kind of insane. I wanted to see the video. I wanted to show you the video. It's the one that made me the most mad of people actually burning the flag. Burning flag. Yeah. I saw this earlier today, and this shit just, come on. This dude deported. You get X'd out from the community on some stupid shit like this. Like, you've lost all privileges. You're wearing fucking shit. All of the shit that you just bought here and you lived here, you have family here, all of that, you're burning here because you want to be cool in front of these losers. Yeah, look at him. He's over here just doing this Netanyahu right in here. Just like this. How is this not? This is pushing the money. Like, you can't do this. And look, it's just a fucking white kid who's trying to hide his identity so no one can really understand who he is. Back racing, is that what that is? BC racing, coil over. Like, fucking idiot. You guys are such fucking idiots. I try to stay pretty in the middle of stuff like this. But when I see this, there's no love. There's no peace. It's only our way, the highway. What we say is correct. What you say is wrong. It hurts my heart. But that's where we're going to end the stream tonight. I'm super excited. Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers are fucking fire. Man, I cannot wait to get more in-depth, more knowledge on what just happened this past chapter. But with that said, I'll catch you guys.